All right, guys. Today's lesson is we're going to look at forms of linear equations, and then we're going to solve linear equations that have a fractional slope. So I just wanted to go over the different types of forms of linear equations that you're going to see. So far we've been using what's called slope-intercept form, and we'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. But it's the form of y equals mx plus b. So you've been getting problems that look like y equals 3x plus 5. So any problem like that, it's in the form of slope-intercept. And we'll talk about the number that goes along with your x is your slope. And the constant over here, this number, is called your y-intercept. And I'm going to show you tomorrow on a video how to graph using just the slope-intercept form, not having to make a table. Okay. We're also going to start looking at what's called standard form. Okay, in standard form, the problems just are in any order, and we have to turn it into slope-intercept form. So we would have to move the ax over to this side, and so we'll look more at that at a later time. So it's ax plus b equals c. So that if you see a problem like this, it's going to be in standard form. And then this other, the other way that you'll see linear equations, it's called point slope form. And we'll use a formula looking like this: y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So it looks a little complicated at first, but after we go over it, it won't be too bad. Okay, so the problems for today that I want to show you, these look similar to the problems that we've done before, except now we have a fraction in the slope. Okay, so again, now it's important we pick certain numbers here for our x value. Okay, so here's the trick that I want you to use. Always look at the denominator of the problem. So here we have a denominator of 2, a denominator of 3, a denominator of 5. I want you to choose multiples of that number as your x values. Okay, so the reason is if you don't, you're going to get fractions over here. And so if we choose multiples of the denominators, you're going to keep whole numbers. Okay, so I'll explain that over here. So here, what I want to do is, you can always use 0. 0 is always a good one to use. Okay, but because my denominator is 2, I'm going to use 0, 2, and 4 as my numbers. Okay, so here I'm going to graph. So y equals 1/2 times 0 plus 1. Well, we know 1/2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So my coordinate is going to be 0, 1. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do y equals 1/2 times 2, which is 2 over 1, plus 1. So 1/2 times 2 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So my coordinate is 2, 2. And then here, for the last one, y equals 1, let's do 1/2 times 4 over 1 plus 1. Well, 4 over 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my coordinate is 4, 3. Okay, so now I'm going to graph all those. So 0, 1. 0, 1 is there. 2, 2, I go over 2 and up 2. And 4, 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And up 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's my linear equation. Okay, my graph of a linear equation. Okay, so if you're using multiples of the denominator, your graphs work out a lot better. Okay, because if you don't, you'll end up with something like 3 over 2, 5 over 2, and it's just a little bit more difficult to graph. So here I have 1/3. So 1/3, what I'm going to do is choose 0, 3, and 6. So for linear equations, you always need 3, at least 3 numbers. Okay, you can do more, but 3 is enough to give you that line. Okay, if you only do 2, you could be wrong and your line could be crooked. Okay, and you wouldn't know. So you need at least 3. So in this case, I'm going to do y equals 1/3 times 0 minus 2. 1/3 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is negative 2. So 0, negative 2 is my first coordinate. Y equals 1/3 times 3 over 1. Well, 1/3 times 3 over 1 is 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So we end up with 3, negative 1. And then here, y equals 1/3 times 6 over 1 minus 2. 6 over 3 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 6, 0. So there's my 3 pairs of coordinates. So 0, negative 2 is there. 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 1 is there. And I have 6, 0. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's my last coordinate. And you can see there's my straight line. So I could pick any numbers I want, and they're going to be on that line somewhere. Okay. And so the last one here, okay, we have 1/5. So like I said, you're going to use 5. Okay, a multiple of that number. So 0, 5, and 10. Okay, the bigger the number over here, though, the bigger your graph's going to have to be. So what I could have chosen is negative 5. Okay, negative 5 would have moved my graph on the side over here. Okay, so, but I'll use 10. So here y equals negative 1/5. So I have a negative 1/5, so that's going to be a negative slope. It's going to go down this way. Negative 1/5 times 0 plus 3, so 0, 3. Y equals negative 1/5 times 5 over 1. That's going to give me, excuse me, negative 1. Okay, because 1/5 times 5 over 1 is 1. So negative 1 plus 3, which is 2. So 5, 2. And then I have y equals negative 1/5 times 10 over 1. So this is going to give me negative 2 plus 3. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So my coordinate is 10, 1. Okay. And so when I graph these, I left this blank just to show you we have to put more numbers in. So 0, 3 is going to be up 3. 5, 2 is going to go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 2. 1, 2. And then 10, 1, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up 1. And there's my line. Okay, so that's how you graph linear equations when you have a fraction for your slope. Okay, so I'll be online every morning from 8 to 10. If you guys have any questions, just you can send me a question through Google Classroom, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys, have a good day.